Hi guys, welcome back. It's Mrs. Peterson, that lady who teaches art, and today we are going to review the element of art called color. So would you go ahead and write your first name, last initial, and then your class right here. If you are second grade Mrs. Lynn Trigger's class, go ahead and write 2L. If you're in a different class, write your class name. And I already wrote the word color right here for you. If I would have printed this in color, you'd have seen that this had color on it, this star. And our definition is hue. So we're going to write the missing letter H for hue. So I have a challenge for all of you. Go home tonight and ask an adult at home or an older brother or sister, what is their favorite hue? And then just be quiet. Don't give away the hint and see if they can figure out that question just means favorite color. They probably have forgotten or maybe even never learned what the word hue means. So you can show them how smart you are and what you learned today in art. So first of all, we're going to review the primary colors, and primary just means first. At our school, we call it Elta Elementary School or Aurelia Elementary School, but if we were in Europe, we would call it Elta Primary School or Aurelia Primary School. It's just the first one you go to. So the primary colors are red, and I'm going to have you take a red marker and fill in this, yellow, and blue. And I don't care which blue marker you use. I have some dark and some light. Just make sure that you use one of the blue ones. Those are the primary colors. The primary colors have two things about them. They make all the other colors, and they cannot be made from other colors. Down here, number 2, we're going to talk about our secondary colors. So red and yellow. If I mixed a squirt of red paint and a squirt of yellow paint, I would get orange paint. And if I mixed yellow and blue on the next one, I would get green. And if I mixed red and purple, then I would, I did that wrong. Red and blue, I would get purple. Sorry, my brain was thinking a step ahead. So if I mix red and blue, I would get purple. So orange, green, and purple are my secondary colors, and I left some space right here. I want you to put 2. I once had an elementary student explain it to me like this. So if red is a primary, that means first. So that's like 1 plus, and yellow is another primary. That's a 1. And just like in math class, anytime I add one primary plus another primary, I'm going to get a secondary color. So I liked how they explained that to me. Down here at the bottom, I have the warm colors. These are red, orange, and yellow. Those ones make me think of fall. They make me think of fire. And the cool colors are green, blue, and purple. Okay. And when I was an elementary student, I have to admit that when my teacher was like, we're going to use the cool colors today, I thought she meant like, oh, they're the awesome colors. But now I know that they're just like the cold colors, like cool, like a temperature, and warm colors are like hot, like a temperature. When you have those all filled in, let's flip to the back, and I have a color wheel. A color wheel is just a graphic way to represent how colors mix. So we're going to start with the ones that we see the names, and you'll remember that these are the primary colors. So I'm going to have you go ahead and fill in the primary colors. I'm going to start with yellow. I like to trace the outside edge first and then do lines straight across with these markers, because otherwise I tend to have a lot of paper peekers, those little white spots that peek through, or I go over it too much and it gets like a wet spot and it kind of rips my paper. After you have red done, go ahead and after you have yellow done, go ahead and do red. And I'm going to do it the same way. Just doing lines across. Try not to let any paper peekers through. And then when you're done with that, we'll add our blue. And again, I don't care if it's the dark blue or the light blue, the more cyan one, but make sure that you are using blue in the right spot. Everybody always says at this point it looks like a beach ball, But we are going to make our beach ball into our mixing colors. So if you don't remember, you can look back at the front. But if I mix red and yellow, I'm going to get orange. So right in between those, that's where you're going to put your orange. And it has to be right there. Otherwise, it's in the wrong spot. So try really hard to make sure that you are following along with where these secondary colors go when we mix the primaries. All right, and some kids will tell me it looks like a rainbow as we get going. So if I mix yellow and blue, I'm going to get green. So that one has to go in between these two. And if I mix blue and red, I'm going to get purple, or another name for purple is violet. And when you are all done with that, you are done with your color review. All right, you guys, I can't wait to see what you create.